Across the salty Solway marshes, at the mouth of the River Esk, nestled between the rolling hills of southern Scotland, lies a magical place made famous by its wedding history, called Gretna Green.
Yay!
Gretna Green, it has its own special buzz. It definitely does have its own special buzz. And there's really not all that many places that can genuinely 100% honestly and accurately claim to have an unbroken thread of 250 years plus of history, which isn't just a history story that sits in a book on a shelf. It's still happening, it's still alive.
The history story began with farming, and this carries on today, as heir to the Gretna estate, Alistair Houston continues a long tradition of working the land. Gretna Green is, at its heart, a family business. Founded in 1886, it's been passed down through 4 generations.
Well, it began on my mum's side of the family when Hugh, great-grandfather Hugh, in 1885 bought the property, the Gretna estate. And we were pure farmers in those days. I mean, we still are farmers, but we were pure farmers in those days. And the Gretna estate included the farmlands, and it included the hamlet of Gretna Green, and one of the buildings in the hamlet of Gretna Green was the old blacksmith shop. So as early as 1886, the year after, he opened it up to the public, because even in those days, people were arriving in train and then a little bit later an early car, tottering up the village to have a look through the windows of this funny little place that they'd heard about because of the history of runaway weddings, which had started 120 or so years ago prior to that.
This little building is at the heart of the Gretna Green wedding story. Due to its location on the Scottish border, young couples from England would elope to escape the Marriage Act of 1754, and once over the border would be legally allowed to tie the knot right here by the blacksmith himself.
In the blacksmith's cottage that was, I mean, that was a building that was built in about 1713. So until 1754, when the Marriage Act came along, that would have been literally a working blacksmith's, both living accommodation and forge area. And the blacksmith's forge area, which is where all of these tens of thousands of weddings have taken place over the years, that's still pretty much untouched in terms of its construction, and the stories that have been told in there and continue to get told in there, we believe, are just so powerful. They're fascinating, they're human stories. They're about love, they're about death, they're about fighting, they're about drama. So there are a lot of wonderful stories from there. But it's a fascinating little building. I mean, it's so atmospheric, there's little low clay-built walls, and you can almost hear the building talk to you as you're going through it. Well over 1,000 couples a year will still get married in and around the blacksmith shop at Gretna Green.
So you 2 young people have run away from home to be married here in Gretna Green in the blacksmith's workshop.
When new couples come, so they go away with their new bit of magic in their hearts that they've taken from Gretna Green, and in doing so have brought to Gretna Green. And I think that's really special. It's really special. And when visitors from probably just about every country in the world now are coming to Gretna Green, and they can take some of that magic with them as well. So we're proud of it.
Just across the way, the tradition has a modern face. A family-owned boutique hotel with all the sophistication of a city centre pad, but one that welcomes you to the beauty of Scotland, its people and its traditions.
I was determined that it wouldn't be a hotel that was just about weddings at Gretna Green. We've now got a respected 4-star, multinational award-winning contemporary boutique hotel at Gretna Green, which has introduced something entirely new to the area. And I'm really proud of what we've done there.
The whole visitor experience at Gretna Green has evolved and grown over the years. The Famous Blacksmiths Shop attraction has not only grown in size, but it's also built a reputation as a top shopping destination. It's renowned for its quality and choice, and has been awarded the title of both UK Visitor Attraction of the Year and Shopping Attraction of the Year. It offers some of the finest labels and carefully chosen items. It's a paradise for the discerning shopper looking for that special treat. The restaurant is a place to enjoy traditional Scottish fare in a fresh, modern environment. It's quite an achievement from humble beginnings. The food hall at Gretna Green is another important part of the attraction, which is closely linked to its farming roots. Here you'll find some of the finest ingredients and mouth-watering delicacies, including many local specialities. Many aspects of Scottish culture and traditions are celebrated here in Gretna Green, including its whisky.
You know, whisky is such a huge part of Scotland's culture. As farmers, we're growing, both at this farm and across in Berwickshire, we grow malting barley, so we're supplying in as a primary producer, if you like, into that industry. And as you know, there are distilleries all around Scotland, and what we've got is a lot of those best-known whisky brands with staff trained and knowledgeable about their origin and their tasting flavours.
I've got whiskies from the 4 main whisky producing regions in Scotland. Vastly different flavours, all wonderfully tasty. You'll love them. Take in the full intensity of the flavour.
And we have great fun selling those and tasting those, but selling those to visitors from all over the world.
All of these wonderful Scottish traditions and history at Gretna Green originate from its land, a land that Alistair is fiercely passionate about.
Farming's just a huge part of what we do and who we are really here at Gretna Green. So alongside the farming and alongside the commercial business of hotels and visitor attraction and wedding venue, one of the things that's given me a huge amount of pleasure in my life is trying to just do this and trying to make things and leave things better than I find them.
Alistair's parents, Adair and Moira, built Gretna Green's popularity during the 70s and 80s, and firmly established the famous Blacksmiths Shop attraction as a major international tourist destination. Today, the family business is led by Alistair with the close support of his sister Susan. They're equally proud and protective of their unique heritage, and its story will continue to grow, preserving and treasuring the past with a strong focus on the future of the famous Gretna Green Story.